welcome to another week of An Evening with Cora. I'm really excited this week. We have a very amazing guest on. I've known him for a few years now and I'm just admired him for all of those years. So I am really happy to introduce you this week to Alan Bonner. Hello Alan, how's it going?
Hello, lovely. I'm well, thank you.
Good.
Thanks for
Oh,
having me.
so good to have you on. Thank you for coming on.
It's good to be here.
Yay! And you're living in Brighton at the moment, aren't you?
I am indeed, yeah.
Are you
I'm
from
loving it.
Brighton originally?
No, I'm from Suffolk originally, actually. But yeah, and I've moved around quite a lot over the years. But this is where I am. I'm Brightonian right now.
Yeah, because I met you in Brighton, so I
Yeah.
didn't know where you were from. But yeah, that's amazing. And so we've got a couple of questions for you today,
Mhm.
just to help the watchers out there learn about who you are as an artist and how long you've been writing, all that kind of stuff. So,
Okay.
firstly, yeah, I mean, how long have you been writing music?
Um, a long time. I've been writing music since I was about 18, 19, and I'm 38 now. So that's a
Okay, yeah,
long time.
yeah,
And I've been releasing music since about 2007, 2008. So
nice.
quite a while. Yeah, a long time actually.
Yeah. And when, because you, at 18, I guess for me anyway, I was kind of figuring out what I wanted to do at that age. So what made you go into songwriting?
Well, I think I started singing from an earlier age. I think I started singing when I was about 11. And then I think teenage angst made me, write poems and lyrics and things. And then I went to music school in London when I was 18, and then university, and it was then that I sort of started sort of taking writing more seriously. So I would have been sort of 18, 19 around that time, and
Yeah.
was in and out of a few rubbish bands. And then yeah, started writing my own songs, but I was kind of into sort of quite sort of angsty confessional songwriters at that time. So I think that's what started it off.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
heartbreak and stuff like that does make you
Yeah. Lots of
very
that.
when everyone
Lots of
says, "How
that.
did you start songwriting?" I'm like, I got my heart broken and started writing songs. Like,
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And I think it's, I think it's important for young people generally to have or people, actually not just young people, to have an outlet. So even if it's not songwriting, I think it's important to be, because we all feel, those things in life, don't we? So it's good to have something to channel them into.
absolutely. And who would you say is like the most the biggest influence on your songwriting?
Oh, I don't think I couldn't pin it down to one artist. I think there's a few,
Yeah.
a handful of them. I think ever since I was little, I've been obsessed with pop music. So there's been lots of different influences in different genres. I've got quite an eclectic taste in music. Although I would say my biggest influences would probably be people like Rufus Wainwright and Tori Amos and Elton John and David Bowie.
Yeah.
And my first influence was probably ABBA, and Joni Mitchell, um, and then kind of those 90s noughties bands as well. But yeah, I've got quite an eclectic taste. But those sort of piano based early 70s singer-songwriters, and then that second wave that came around in the 90s, with people like Tori Amos and Bjork and those sort of people,
Yeah.
and Regina Spektor as well. So that would have been when I was coming up. I started sort of making records and writing in the early noughties, so that all kind of went into the mix, I think.
Yeah. And you can hear that within your music, I think, as well. Really,
Thanks.
really good. And so, how would you say that you first kind of approach writing a song? Do you start with lyrics, music? Is it a beat? What is it?
For me, it's however they come. I mean, often, the best ones are when they come at you fully formed, like a lightning bolt from the muses, But that's rare. So and it does happen sometimes. You just have an idea, and you sit at the piano, and out comes the melody, and out comes the lyrics in 10 minutes, and it's just there, bang. Others take years, and they just come in piece by piece by piece. Often it's the lyrics that come first for me. Often I'll just get a line and then I'll sort of weave something out of that.
Yeah.
Or I might hear a chord, like a hook in my head. Or sometimes it's just like a piano riff that I might have, and then I'll develop that. So sometimes it is the music that comes first. It depends on the song, but a lot of the time I'll hear a line in my head, or so I'll overhear a conversation or something, and then that'll spark one tiny little idea that then I'll take away and scribble around. And it's usually pages and pages of rubbish, and there's like 3 lines in it that might be any good that then I can work with. So can be a bit of a long process sometimes.
Definitely. And I feel like free writing helps me. Do you do a lot of free writing?
I don't, but I've recently started because a really good friend of mine, who I will introduce you to, actually, she's a brilliant Brighton-based singer-songwriter, but she just moved back to Brighton. I met her. I lived in Berlin, and she used to come to an open mic night that I used to run in Berlin for a couple of years, but she's just moved here, and she's fabulous. She's called Ruby Jean Rose, and I was telling her that for the last I've kind of had writer's block. I haven't written very much original music in the last year or so. I've written a few songs, but not as much as I would have done previously. Right. And I was telling her about, my writer's block. She was like, "I bet you haven't got writer's block. I bet you just need to find a new way." So we sat down and we started doing this free writing thing, and she did another thing where she said to me, pick a subject out of thin air, just pick a word. And I picked a word, and then she said, "Right, for the next 10 minutes, we're just going to write about that, whatever comes." And then we picked a lyric out of what came, which was a really interesting way to do it. And it made me realise I hadn't got writer's block at all. I was just being a bit lazy.
I think we're all guilty of that sometimes,
Yeah.
Someone said to me, I did a songwriting boot camp, and they were like, "There's no such thing as writer's block if you always get yourself in inspiration's way."
Yeah, I think it is in the mind a lot of the time, and it's also because I don't know I can't speak for anybody else, but I juggle a lot of different plates, music and other things, and to keep the rent paid and the wolf from my door. Like a lot of artists, we have to wear many hats to get by in the world sometimes, and sometimes you're just a bit mentally exhausted. So you have to find ways to restart that, which is important, which I'm learning now, actually, after however many years of doing it.
Yeah, I think we're always learning with anything, but
yeah, totally.
Yeah. And if you were to describe your music style to someone who's never heard your stuff, how would you describe it?
I always really struggle with this bit, to be honest. I used to always say theatrical folk.
Okay.
Because there's quite a theatrical element to my music. It's piano driven, it's ballady, and it's also got quite a folk element to it. Having said that, I've done, albums that have, had electro beats and things on them. So that's not strictly true either. Yeah. But I think, I say theatrical folk, or I say, I don't know what I say, to be honest. I'm a bit rubbish like that. I usually leave that to a PR guy or a press person or something. Yeah, I'm not very good at that.
Yeah. How would other people describe your music? That's it, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think as well, sometimes if you might have an idea of who you are and what you sound like, but that might not be the same as somebody else's perception of you. So, but I think I always mention the people I'm influenced by and the people I'm inspired by, and I think that I'm kind of a folk rock singer with a theatrical element to it. So that's the best thing I can think of, really.
Yeah, brilliant. And I think that is a good time to have a listen to the song that you're allowing me to share with everyone. Is that okay?
Of course it is. Yeah, please do.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, let's hear the song. And you filmed this, was it last year?
Yeah, so I filmed this in the summertime I was doing a lot of fundraising shows, online shows at the time, for the Save Our Venues campaign, #Save Our Venues campaign, which was a national thing, still is, I think, actually, to save all the grassroots music venues that have been severely affected by the pandemic. And we've managed to save a lot of them between us, which is brilliant. And I was quite heavily involved in that. And I recorded a session at the time that I don't think this went out, which is why we're using it here, because unfortunately I've just moved house and I'm having technical issues, which is why I'm not playing live today. Sorry about that, guys. But this is recorded live last summer, so I hope you like it.
Awesome. Well, let's take a look. Let's have a look at this.
Canary in a coal mine, a calm inside the storm. Just friends is fine and all, but that won't keep me warm. And so the search continues. Another conquest on the tech. And if I never find that missing part, will I get my money back before the half-light, before the day comes rushing in, when in the first light a story ends where it begins. The spell is broken in the rising of the sun, with eyes wide open, no longer fooling anyone. Stop chasing shadows, stop getting by on crumbs of love. Always hungry, yeah, but you can never get enough. So cut your losses, go find yourself a different shore. Still life in boxes, 'cause these ropes don't love you anymore. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?
Alan, that was amazing. And that was Half-Life by Anna Bonner, by the way. And people can listen to that on Spotify, right?
Yeah, that's from an album called Night Music that I did in 2016 or something, and it's on there and that's on Spotify, along with all my other records. If you find me on there on my artist page, that will be on there if you follow me.
Brilliant, and the link will be in the description of the video here. That down there, so it's easy for people to find. And tell us what that song's about, Alan. I love this part.
That song is about. Oh, I don't want to tell you what that song's about. That song's about one night stands,
Okay.
and the feeling of when. And I think we've all been there to some extent, where in at night time, you know, when the wine is flowing and when the tide is high, you know, you're intoxicated by this person, and you know, you're tricked into thinking that maybe you might have found somebody that you could have something meaningful with, and then in the cold light of day, it's a very different story the next morning. We've all been there, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what that's about.
Beautiful. In a really sad, like melancholic way, but everyone
Yeah,
has to do that, right? So
yeah, yeah. But you know, it's part of life, isn't it?
it is. I think this is again, these experiences make for this beautiful music that you then create from that experience.
Hopefully, hopefully. I mean, I think, yeah, I think so. I always find that I struggle. You know, it's a lot easier for me to write about more melancholy subjects. And I think people listen to my records or they come to my shows and they go, and then they meet me afterwards and I'm really, you know, upbeat, and they go, God, you know, I was expecting you to be miserable.
It's never the case though, is it?
But it's only, you know, that's only like one side of things. You know what I mean? It's just that I don't often feel inspired to write when I'm full of the joys, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think we all use music and things in different ways, and that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for sharing that song with us.
Okay.
And also, you said earlier that one of your biggest influences is ABBA, and you've
Yes.
got a new album dedicated to some ABBA songs, right?
Yeah. So I last year
Yes.
I did a record, mini album of ABBA covers called
Yes.
The Way Old Friends Do,
Yeah.
which is also on Spotify with all my other stuff. And it was supposed to go alongside the show for the Brighton Fringe Festival in 2020. Pardon me, which is me in a 5-piece band reworking ABBA songs. And in that band, you've got people like Paul Diallo and Ben Jones, who plays piano for Alice Russell, and Robin Squirrel from being Jack Rabbit. So we've got some great Brighton acts in the band. And it's basically it's the live version of the album plus all the ABBA hits that you want to hear. The album's got more sort of obscure tracks on it, but so yeah, it's basically and it's being carried forward to this year's Fringe Festival, which will go on hopefully, if it doesn't change dates again. Thank you, pandemic. On the 25th and the 26th of June at the Brunswick in Hove. So yeah, and tickets will go on sale on April the 16th, I think, when the Fringe release the tickets and announce the festival lineup. So yeah, we're doing this big ABBA show for the Fringe, and I'm excited and I'm terrified. I've got my work cut out for the next 3 months pulling that together, but it's been a lot of work and it's been quite an ordeal in one way or another. But we're going to get there and we're going to make it great. So, fingers crossed.
Yes, fingers crossed that it does go ahead. Everyone go buy tickets in April.
Yeah, please.
Make them know that we want it. And that would be so great, wouldn't it, to get out into a venue again?
Yeah. I mean, I can't wait. I mean, obviously, like, I think when you do anything for the Fringe, it's not just the show itself, it's all the stuff that goes on backstage, and it's just a lot. It's just a lot. But I am excited about it, and it's just nice. I think about 2 years ago, 2019, when I made the record for release in early 2020, in spring 2020, I was kind of, you know, I just finished my last originals record and toured with that, and was kind of a bit like, what do I do now? I don't really want to do another album. I didn't really feel like doing my own stuff. And I was talking with Paul, and he came with it about, you know, my childhood love for ABBA, and you know, actually I've carried it into adulthood as well. But you know, I was an ABBA obsessed little, you know, fat, effeminate kid in the wilds of Suffolk, sat there at my grandma's house geeking out on ABBA when all my friends were listening to. Well, I didn't have any friends, actually. I'm lying. I didn't have any friends. But everybody else was listening to like Two Unlimited and Guns N' Roses and whoever else was big in, I don't know, 1992 or whenever it was. So yeah, I think that like it was just a nice thing to do, to revisit that music that sort of first got me into making music, because after I first heard those records, even as a little boy, I was obsessed, and I think had I not, I may not have become a singer. I may not have become a musician. I think when I was 6, I think I could pick out the melody, the chorus line of Fernando with one hand on a Casio keyboard. You know, it was the first time I ever played anything from ear.
Yeah.
And, you know, so they were the start of my journey in a way. So it's kind of come full circle. So I hope people come, and I hope people like it.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't like ABBA? Come on.
Well, I think I think they're like Marmite. I think people love them or people hate them, and so that's okay. But you know, if you hate them, you're wrong. And you know, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I think I've had a lot of really lovely feedback from the record. You know, I don't sound like ABBA. My band doesn't sound like ABBA, but it's not. It's faithful to their music. It's a homage to their music. But it is a reimagining in the sense that, you know, we don't sound. I don't. You know, vocally, I don't sound like them, and I'm not trying to better them. Actually, there'd be no point. I'm doing my own spin on it all. So, hopefully, it goes down well. The record's had some really good reviews.
Good.
But you can't please everybody, and that's, you know, that's okay. So fingers crossed.
And it'll be there. It's there for the people who do love it, isn't
Exactly.
it? So that's, even if it just is for one person, I say, like, if that one person loves it, then great.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Brilliant. And we've got you've allowed me to share again, so we've got another video that you've shot for The Winner Takes It All. Yeah,
so this is my version of The Winner Takes It All, which is from that record and from the show. So here it is, and I hope you like it.
Let's watch.
I don't want to talk about things we've gone through, though it's hurting me. Now it's history. I played all my cards, and that's what you've done too. Nothing more to say, no more ace to play. The winner takes it all, the loser standing small beside the victory. That's our destiny. I was in your arms, thinking I belonged there. I figured it made sense, building me a fence, building me a home, thinking I'll be strong there. But I was a fool, playing by the rules. Gods may throw the dice, their minds as cold as ice, and someone way down here loses someone dear. The winner takes it all, the loser standing small. It's simple and it's plain. Why should I complain? But tell me, does he kiss like I used to kiss you? Does it feel the same when he calls your name. Somewhere deep inside, you must know I miss you. But what can I say? Rules must be obeyed. The judges will decide. The likes of me abide. Spectators of the show always stay along. The game is on again. A lover or a friend, a big thing or a small, the winner takes it all. I don't want to talk if it makes you feel sad, and I understand. You've come to shake my hand. I apologize if it makes you feel bad, seeing me so tense. No self-confidence, but you see, the winner takes it all. The winner takes it all.
Wow. I'm literally like over here like nearly crying. Like the most beautiful version of that song I've ever heard.
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
I purposely didn't watch it just so I could watch it now and just like feel it, and like that bit where you just withheld the music. I was like, I don't want to talk. Oh, my heart was broken in two then. That was incredible.
Sometimes it's more about the silence, right? You know, like sometimes, yeah, like, you know, obviously music is about notes and it's about sound, but sometimes it's the gaps in between that are powerful as well. I like playing with that, you know. So
it really works, and it gets people feeling something, and that's what I love about it.
That's the idea. Hopefully.
Yeah, well, it made me feel something. I was like, please don't cry, got makeup on.
Well, it's, you know, I think it's probably one of the best breakup songs ever written.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not an easy song to sing, that one, actually. That was a lot of I'm quite nervous about singing that live, actually, to be honest. But again, fingers crossed.
You just got to trust and go for it. I did feel like a couple of times there you reminded me, your voice of Bowie. I was like, ooh, Bowie tones in there.
Well, I take that as a huge compliment, and thank you very much. I'll take that.
And look, we're coming to the end here today, but thank you so much for sharing those things with us, and tell everyone where can they follow you, and I'll put the links down below, but please let us know.
So you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. My Instagram handle is at Alan Bonner, AlanBonner. Facebook.com/Alan Bonner Music. I have a website which is www.alanbonner, sorry, www.alanbonnermusic.com. But the easiest thing to do if you have Spotify is to go over and find me, which is just Alan Bonner on Spotify, and follow my artist page. Follow me on there, and you will get all my music that I've ever released, plus anything that I ever release in the future, because it will all go on there eventually. And yeah, I'm on iTunes and Amazon and all that stuff. And if you want to, if people still buy CDs, if anybody does that, you can get them on. I'm on Bandcamp, or you can email me on Facebook or something and ask for one. Whatever, it's all there.
Fab. And it's all below this video, so everyone go and follow Alan, go buy his CD, go follow him on Spotify, all of the things, and yeah, go buy tickets for the show. And just to finish us off then, Alan, if you will, last question. So if you could give the people out there who's watching one piece of advice,
yeah,
what would it be?
One piece of advice. Well, I'm gonna give them two pieces of advice, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Be kind to yourself at all times, and always make sure the wine is good.
Solid advice from Alan there.
Okay.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. You're so welcome. Thank you so much. It's been such a joy.
It has been. I'll let you go, but everyone go follow Alan. Thank you so much, Alan.
Bless your heart. Thank you.
Take care, darling.
Good night, love. Thank you.
Oh, isn't he amazing? I love him. Literally, I'm literally gonna have a little cry now after this is done. But yeah, everyone go follow Alan. Please go stream his music and go show him lots and lots of love. You know, go say hi to him as well. Definitely do that. And thank you once again for watching. I don't even know what to say. I'm just like super emotional now. I was going to give you a quote, but do you know what? I'm not going to this week. I think just go and listen to more of Alan. I think is the the ending thought for this week. And thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Subscribe to the YouTube channel here to get updates on the following shows. Yeah, I love you lots. Thank you all for your support. Till next week. Bye.